What's up, everybody? Welcome to part 2 of our JSInTen series, Building a Discord Bot. All right, so without further ado, let's get started. If you need to pick up where we left off, video 1, go to part 1 and rock with us. All right, so let's get to it. All right, so I'm gonna bring over the new outline. All right, so I'm gonna rename this file to 1-outline, and I'm gonna do touch 2-outline.md. All right, and I'm going to whoops, you know what, I might be in the wrong desk. No, yeah, cd. Okay, Luther. All right, there you go. And then I'll touch, boom. All right, so there we go. All right, so then we see that, and I'm going to bring the outline in from somewhere else. All right, and I will copy and paste that, and then I will. All right, so now we can see the outline. Great. All right, and that's misspelled, so we're gonna change that. All right, so what do we need to do? We're going to project configuration. We're going to configure the project to do some things that we need to do. Send a channel message and respond to a command. So our bot's going to send a channel message out when it's online, and then he's going to respond to any commands that he gets, and we'll conclude. And I think there's one more part, and we may do a bonus fourth part, depending on the popularity if people ask for it. But let's get to project configuration. All right, so we're going to make a directory, call it config. We're going to add a config.json file in that directory, right? You see it happening over here. And then we're going to add the following code to that config.json file. So we're going to do that. So we're basically adding a token and a command prefix. And this is what we're going to type in the exclamation point whenever we want to say, hey, Luther, do this, like insult me. Okay. All right. So it'll be hash, like whatever. You'll see what it is. It'll be exclamation point Luther. All right. So we need to do some updates to our index to use this config file. Okay. So let me do this. Let me open this up. All right. So we're going to pull in this line. Okay. So that's what we're going to need to change. We're going to add this line, and we're going to need to change this line. Let me bring that back a little bit. So now we're just, we're going to take this and change it there. All right. So what we're doing is we're requiring that file, that config.json file that has that, JSON data in it. And we're going to do object destructuring. We're going to pull off the token and the command prefix. So those are the two things that we want out of that file. So that's what we're going to destructure the object and pull those two things out. Okay. So now we've got our token. Again, our token, it needs to be kept secret. So this is what I'm going to do in order to do that. I'm going to say, okay, reveal in Finder. Okay. All right. So now you can't see it. Now you see it. Now you don't. All right. So I'm going to open this with Notepad. So I had some issues with Discord. They were saying that my token was possibly compromised on the last video. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the token here. All right, so we'll go back and I'll just copy the token. I regenerated it, so I'm copying it now, and then I'm going to come back over here. Let me close that to make sure we don't go back and see it. All right, so I'm using stealth. All right, so I saved it. And now let's see what happens when we do node dot. All right. So LutherBot is ready to insult you. So we're still good. Okay. Token works. We're online. Let me open up the Discord app. You'll see that, the Luther insult bot is online. Okay. So what do we need to do next? The next thing we're going to do is send the channel message to let people know, hey, this is not what we want. We don't want it to go to the console. We want it to actually go to the channel. Okay, so that users can know that the Discord bot is online. Okay, so we're going to add this. All right, this chunk of code here. It's basically saying go to my client, use my client object, go to channels, the cache of channels, get the channel based on its ID. All right, we don't know it yet, and then send that same message, similar. LutherBot is, yeah, I don't know why I did that. I can get rid of that, right? It's the same thing. It's going to do it twice. Okay. Luther insult bot is ready to insult you. Okay. So we've got that going on. All right. So let's see what happens when we do that. Well, first we got a problem. We need to get the channel ID from Discord. So let's go in and try to do that. All right. Normally you can just click right here and then click copy ID, right? But you can't do that unless you do this, right? So go to settings, appearance, scroll down to developer mode, turn it on. Okay. Now you come back, right click, copy ID, and then you put that ID here. Okay. All right. So LutherBot is ready to insult you. We should be able to click node dot and we don't see anything at the bottom. But when we come here, Luther insult bot is ready to insult you. Okay, so a channel message was sent. All right, so we got that. That's a success. Okay, woohoo. All right, so now we need to respond to a command. Okay, so there are a couple of things that we're going to need to talk about before we do that. So we're going to add this code. Okay, and then we'll talk about what it does. All right, so we need an event handler. All right, on our client. And the event handler that we're going to use is the message event handler when a message is sent to the client. So whenever somebody sends a message, ooh, hey there, partner, right? Is that how you spell partner? Yeah, anyway, anytime somebody sends a message, this event handler is going to fire, right? It's gonna call this, callback function. All right. So that's basically what's happening. Now, there's some things that we want to check before we do anything, right? We don't want to do anything. We don't want to do anything as the bot if the message isn't specifically for us. Okay. So there's a couple of things that we want to check before we start working on the message. All right. So the first thing we do is we say, okay, we get in this message object, right? The message is going to contain a lot of information about what channel it was sent from, the content of the message, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? The author of the message. All right. So what we need to check is to see, okay, is the author of the message a bot? Because we don't want to respond to other bot messages, because we could create an infinite loop of messages if we're continually responding to our own message, right? Let's say we did something, the bot sent a message and it's just like, but spam, 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 spam. We don't want to do that, right? And if the message doesn't start with our command prefix, we want to ignore it. So we just basically return. Like, we're not doing anything with these messages. Okay. We'll be back after these messages. All right. So the next thing we need to do, this line right here. Okay. We need to split the content of the message into arguments. So we really, in this instance, are only going to want the first one. We may do some stuff later on with, command line with the arguments with the stuff after a space, but we only want that command, but we need to get those arguments out, right? So we're going to take the contents of the message. In this instance, it would have been, hey there, partner, and split it on the space character. Okay. You can use regular expressions if you want, but it's like, hey, it's a space. Okay. So I'm going to split it on space, and what would come back is an array with hey, there, and partner as elements in the array. Okay. For our purposes, because we know that we're only going to get ones that start with a prefix and that aren't sent by a bot, we're going to say, okay, well, what command did we get? Did we get a command, right? We're going to say, well, take this arguments array, the first element, take off and we can just do command. Let's do this. Command prefix dot length. That's better, right? Because we don't know if the command, we may eventually do like 2, if our command prefix has more than 1, right? Okay, more than one character. Okay, so we're going to say, hey, take the first one. The first thing we do, the first element from this array, and we're going to do a slice method. Now, if you don't know what it is, just kind of you can highlight over it. Well, actually, this is not showing at the MDN reference, but if you just want to, you type in MDN string slice and you'll get it. Okay. But basically, the slice method just says, hey, start at this, take this, start index and just give me back, the string, like it's basically slicing off those 2 characters or 3 characters or whatever the length of this character is, right? Okay. So, and that's going to give us back just our command, right? And our command will be, in this instance, hopefully it'll be Luther. If it is Luther, then we'll just send a message back to the channel saying, how dare you, with an angry face. All right. And then we'll stop right there. So let's try it. Okay. So let's do this. All right. Luther bot is ready to insult you. Let's see if I say that, nothing's going to happen, right? If I do this, if I say friend, right, it's going to say, oh, then we got an error, right? Contents.split. Ooh, got an error. Oh, we got something to deal with. All right. So let's take a look at this. Let's see, long message. Yeah. All right. Let's do that. Let's do friend and try it again. All right. Let's close that out and try it again. You get to see some debugging. Ooh. All right. So LutherBot is ready to insult you. friend. Okay, so what did friend have? Friend has, that's its channel. All right, and that's deleted. The author, the content is friend. All right, and we just say contents.split. Oh, content. All right, there it is. All right, cool. So you got to see some debugging, right? Okay, so let's try it again. All right, friend, node. All right, let's say Luther body is ready to insult you. All right, friend. All right, so it should do nothing. It shouldn't error out. Okay, at least. All right, so let's get rid of that. All right, let's try it again. Let's hit nodes, and I'm gonna hit that, and let's see. All right, friend. So it should do nothing. All right, it does do nothing. All right, and let's just do pound exclamation point Luther. And he comes back and he says, "How dare you?" Okay, and with an angry face. All right. So now, one thing we can do is we can change that so that instead of sending it to a regular, just a regular channel message, right? Getting the channel and send it, we can send it straight to the user that sent the message. All right. So let's try that. We're gonna stop the bot and start it again. Okay. And Luther bot is ready to insult you, and then I'll just say Luther. And he says, oh, he's responding to me. All right, Mike, underscore munchdev, how dare you, right? So reply, you just do message.reply, and it automatically goes to the person who sent the message, all right? So we responded to command, so now we can conclude, all right? So what I'll do is I'll stop this, all right, and I'll do get add dot. So it's going to add, it's going to add everything, right? I want to add all the stuff to my commit. And let's see, what I'll do is, on the slick, I'll go back over here and I'll get rid of the, so I'll do that and I'll say, I want to do that again. All right, cool. So I got rid of my token so that Discord doesn't come after me, right? All right, so add everything. So let's do it again, get add dot. All right, get commit -m, and we'll just call it part 2. All right, and then we'll do get push -u origin master. All right. Okay, so it's going up to GitHub. Again, you'll have a link to the, to this in the description. And again, you can find, like I said, you can find the, the GitHub link in the description. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share so that we can build this channel up, right? And with more free content. All right. Tell me in the comments below what you'd like to see next. And don't forget to like on Facebook, follow on Twitter, Parler, and Instagram, and check out the new Patreon page, right? If you'd like to support the work that I am doing. 3 levels right now, so just basically maybe a cup of coffee a month or something like that. Okay, I'll see you on the next one, part 3, where we're actually going to get Luther to insult us with some of his trademark insults. All right, I'll see you all on the next one. Happy coding.